Last July on Gina Loudon's radio show, you expressed a fear that President Obama and Congressman Carnahan will take away your religious freedom. You said, you take a government and you impose and take away all your choices. One of the choices you take away is to find the Lord and find your Savior. Considering that President Obama is a born-again Christian, it seems odd that you would fear such outcomes. What particular government programs do you fear might lead to a crackdown on people of faith?
Well, if you listen to the whole interview, and if you, in context, what we were saying, which I think is important, is, I think my point was that America's great because of our freedom. And one of the great freedoms we have is freedom of speech, freedom to assemble, and freedom of religion. And one of the concerns when government grows and grows and grows, as we've seen an astronomical increase in growing in the size of government, is those freedoms. And people feel that. When you talk to people, they know that. So I then was talking about my own personal experience. I think in Indonesia, when I was in the Human Rights Office for the Archdiocese, one of the things that we worked really hard at was to talk about what is freedom of religion and freedom to worship, and what does it all mean, and what does your conscience mean? You see, that's one of the things that people need to understand, is your conscience is part. It's not just, Americans don't have a freedom of worship, they have a freedom of religion. To be who you are, to worship or not worship. That's the great thing about it. So I was describing what is a trend that in American history historically is one of the reasons we were founded, was to make sure that governments did not dominate our own freedoms like that. And people in America, whether it's Second Amendment freedoms, First Amendment, others, 10th Amendment, know that that's one of the things that this incredible growth has gone on is about.
Yes, but have you seen any such inroads into people's faith?
Well, I think one of the things, again, one of the things, Obamacare, the promise that was made to us as Americans was that Obamacare would not put tax dollars to abortion, because that was something that men and women who are on all sides of the question of life and choice agree on, many of them, a very high percentage. And within a couple of months that happened. That's very upsetting for people's conscience. So it's not so much that the question of what is happening today, it's what is our government becoming and what are the threats to it. So that's kind of what I meant.